How's it going, Summoners? I think it's safe to say that one of League's certainties is that the jungle is always changing. By the way, my name is Tia, and I'll be your host as we talk about what's to come. Riot plans to address issues in the jungle, so let's discuss their plans. What Riot plans to do first is to make changes for the sake of jungle accessibility. Especially in low elo, the jungle is a rather unpopular role. I mean, I don't blame the players. I feel like this is the role where you're most likely to get flamed by unhappy teammates. Being autofilled into the jungle is also quite daunting. One mistake against an experienced opponent and you suddenly find yourself nearly incapable of finding a way back into the game. That said, what's first on the agenda is to make jungle clears more forgiving. Specifically, the plan is to reduce many jungle camps' base attack damage, reduce many jungle camps' attack damage scaling, increase the camp respawn timer from 2 minutes to 2 minutes 15 seconds, decrease the warning timer from 15 to 10 seconds, and increase gold from non-buff camps by 5%. With these changes in mind, there are plenty of outcomes Riot hopes for. The first is that this widens the jungle pool. I am certain that these changes will accomplish it in the sense that more characters will definitely be able to jungle. Whether the meta will allow them to thrive is another question. That said, there are a few other changes being implemented to help achieve this goal. SMITE will also break Scuttlecrab's shield before applying damage. Omni-Vamp on jungle items is being reduced from 10% to 8%. SMITE % max health healing is being increased from 10% to 15%. Overall, this should help champions without perfect kits to have access to decent clear speed. Not every character has the ideal mix of AoE and single target damage to give them optimal clear times. By increasing the power of SMITE, especially against Scuttlecrab, the playing field is closer to even and niche champions have a better shot. By the way, let me quickly ask our question of the day. Which role do you think is the hardest to learn personally? Fitting the theme of this video, I honestly think it's the jungle. I've tried to teach new friends and myself how to play the game a few times, and the jungle is definitely the most challenging. Especially when playing against a more experienced jungler, you're bound to get invaded and bullied out of the game. From there, the rest of the team has to face some unfortunate consequences, and it just feels bad when you let your team down. Let me know your answers though in the comments below, and let's talk about some more changes. Next, we have another change that might worry a lot of you guys. Riot wants to reduce the snowballiness of the jungle role. Although this sounds nice on paper, a controversial feature might be added back in: comeback experience. I don't personally have an opinion for or against it. I highly doubt it's going to be as bad as it was previously. Riot has made some necessary adjustments from the last time it was in the game. Large monsters will grant 50 experience per level you are below the average of the game -1. For example, if the average level in the game is 6, you'll get comeback experience for being level 4 and below. 50 experience is an amount that'll be significant at early levels, but much less impactful later into the game. Being stuck at level 2 or 3 after a rough jungle start can be demoralizing, but with this feature being added back into the game, it should hopefully make the role less punishing. One gigantic upcoming change is to SMITE. I'm surprised they decided to do this, but SMITE's damage might become flat, rather than scale with level. The base damage will go up to 500 and increase to 1000 after you complete your Jungle Starter Items quest. Those level leads that used to almost guarantee winning a SMITE battle over an objective will be a thing of the past. Obviously, this means that the team that's behind will have more reason to contest objectives. I'm actually okay with this because I've seen far too many teams just sit back and concede Baron or Dragon when they are behind. Since the jungler is a couple of levels down, there's theoretically no way they should be able to steal away these major objectives in the current state of the game. Equalizing the damage makes it possible for a team to always make a comeback as long as they're willing to take a risk for it. The increased early damage will also assist weaker junglers in their early clears. Also, I'll quickly mention that you can find a coach on ProGuides.com to help you improve your jungling. We have a ton who would love to help you out, so make sure to check it out. A final change Riot hopes to implement is for the sake of clarity. The jungle meta has developed quite a bit, even in terms of gameplay. A core mechanic players must take advantage of now is the ability to leash or pull camps to optimal spots in order to increase their clear speed. In other words, you manipulate the jungle camp's movement to get closer to your next destination so you save time. This is a form of skill expression and Riot doesn't plan to remove this. Instead, they want to make it easier for newer players to learn this tactic. When a monster comes within 200 range of causing a monster to leash, a warning particle will appear to show the monster's leash range. This will make it much easier, especially for players who aren't familiar with this or who are uncomfortable taking risks. Unfortunately though, this does take away from some of the effort that experienced players have in order to master this technique. Ultimately, the skill floor is a bit lower, but I think overall, the harder mechanics of the jungle remain untouched. Even if this specific change bothers you, remember that a better jungler will still have a better game plan, understanding which jungle path to take and where they should apply their pressure. The jungle being slightly easier to clear quickly isn't going to make a big difference, and at high levels of play, most junglers already know how to properly clear the jungle anyway. Ultimately, this really only makes the game easier for lower level players. That'll conclude this video on the upcoming jungle changes. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Are you with the changes or against them? Or do you think that they should have done something else? Let me know. I actually do read those comments. But until next time, make sure to stay safe and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!